Good afternoon, guys. How are you? This is Mr. Max. I am here joined by Casio. He's my cameraman. Jersey is somewhere in the area. I gave you a test on similarity. You remember that test? I just want to work it out so that you can see the corrections. Now, the first question here, the parallelogram. You need to know the formula to calculate the area of a parallelogram. It's base times height, because what you should do is you should realize that a parallelogram is like a rectangle that has been squashed. So when you push it to one side, it gets kind of squashy like that. So it's still this base area here, or the length of this base, and it should be multiplied by the height, because normally the height of parallelogram of a rectangle will be 90 degrees. So it's the area which we are given as 64 centimeters squared equals to the base, which is 14, because it's the cross-sectional area. So 14 times the height. So our objective is to calculate the height. Now, it's very easy. 14 times the height is 64. That means in order for you to find the height, you need to divide. So when you divide, you're going to get half of that is 32, half of that is 7. So we can leave the answer like that, but generally, if you punch it in, this can actually be written as 7 goes there, 4 times, and 4 is left. So this is an acceptable answer. Or you can use your calculator, you convert that, and you again give your answer to 3 significant figures. That's why I marked it wrong for most of you, because some of you only wrote 4.5. Now, the formula, if you look at prisms, because this is a prism, it has a cross-sectional area, constant cross-sectional area. So if you were to cut, this area will remain the same, yeah? So in order to calculate the volume of a prism, is the area of the cross section, constant cross section, which we know is 64. So that is 64 centimeters square. Then we multiply that by the length, sometimes the height, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we multiply it by the length times 20, and you're going to automatically get your volume, which is going to be double of that, is 1,280. And I marked it wrong because some of you were using that rounded answer to calculate the area. That area you had there, that wrong rounded answer multiplied by 20, so you got 1 mark. But I want this answer is exact. This one is a little bit tricky because you need to know a little bit of your conversions. So what you do is you quickly work somewhere on the side. And 1 centimeter cubed, because our answer here is in cubic centimeter, is actually the same thing as 10 millimeter, but you cube it, all right? So once you do that, you get 1,000 cubic millimeter, which is equivalent to that. So if you have your answer in cubic centimeter, and you must change it from small to big, you are going to multiply 1,280 cubic centimeter. You multiply that by 1,000. Actually, no need to put the unit there. So what you get is 1,280,000 cubic millimeter. Maybe just to look at a different approach, maybe I can call this method 2. 1 centimeter cubed is the same as 1 centimeter times 1 centimeter times 1 centimeter. 1 times 1 times 1 always give you 1. So when you are asked to change it to millimeter, then you use your knowledge of length. You know that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. So that is the same as saying 10 millimeter here for this one, times another 10 millimeter there for that one, times another 10 millimeter there for that one. And this is going to give you the same answer as above. This is 1,000 cubic millimeters. Always have that side work. You can't study these things by rote learning. Now, part C was very poorly answered. And a few of you could realize this question has to do with similarity. Remember, this question was taken from last year's exam. Paper 4, that's extended. Question 3. In a billboard advertisement of this chocolate bar. Now, a billboard is something very big. People put them up. The base is of the equivalent shaded area. Here, the base of this model, all right, is just 14 centimeters. So a billboard is bigger. So they say that is equal to 7 meters. So the first thing you do is change 7 meters to centimeters, all right? And you know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. The key word there being centi, always telling you about 100. That 700 centimeters, you are going to, when you are calculating, remember your scale factor. So we have going to have length, scale factor. I hope you were checking the video that I was posting. To find the length scale factor, we take 700 and I will divide it by 14 because it's like the smaller model versus the billboard. Yeah, so it's like here is the parallelogram, here it's 14, and here is the big one. This is now, you know, this is the billboard, and what you have here, this is the model, the model that you have here. So the billboard is 700 centimeter. This is real life, and this is just a scale model. Okay, smaller version. So we calculate the length by taking one length, the corresponding length, because these two things are similar. Because similarity deals with enlargement. That's basically it is. This is an enlargement of that. So by how much is this enlarged? The length. So you have to take the length and you compare the length there. You realize that that is 50. So this is your length scale factor. If the question asks you, what is the length of the parallelogram here, you will be taking this 20 centimeter and you will multiply it by 50 because this is just the length scale factor. But if you read the question first, foremost, you are asked to calculate something that has to do with area, because it says calculate the area of the billboard advertisement, the area of this. Okay, so we already know the area of the model. The area of the model is 64. So you have to find the area scale factor, and that is simply found by taking that and squaring it. Okay, and that is 2,500. 5 times 5 is 25 centimeters squared. So you are going to enlarge the area of the model here, which is 64 centimeters square. You are going to enlarge it. This is going to give me the area, the shaded part, right? The shaded part of the billboard, this area here. That billboard area, it's going to be multiplied by 2,500. So if the question was asking us the volume, I would be cubing this and I would have volume scale factor, but there is no volume here involved. So once you do that, you are going to get, in fact, that unit is not important there. You're going to get a very big number. So 64 times 2,500, use a calculator. You get 160,000 square centimeter. Now in the exam last year, they wanted this answer in centimeters squared. I just changed it to meters squared. So your job is not done. So this is area here is 160,000 square centimeter. At least I'll give you 2 marks for that, but I want it in square meters. So again, let's bring in a fact file. 1 square meter is the same as 1 meter times 1 meter. So I'm going to change it to centimeter. I know that 1 meter is 100 centimeter, and 100 centimeter times another 100 centimeter. And I now know that 1 square meter is equal to 10,000 square centimeter. So since I'm supposed to change my answer from centimeter squared or square centimeter to square meter, I have to divide. So I'll be dividing by 10,000. So I've got 4 zeros, and the answer of the billboard is 16 square meters. That is how this one was poorly answered. Please pay attention to that question. Right. Question 2. Extended. Everything here is extended material. you have got basically what you need to realize here. This is similar. This is based on similarity. It's like you have got a triangle and another one that is sort of imposed upon it, or it's, if you move this triangle, it's there. So they are similar. So one is an enlargement of the other. So first of all, these two angles are equal. Then because these sides are parallel, these two angles are equal. They're called corresponding angles. Remember, corresponding angles. And also these angles here will be equal. So because of that, these two triangles therefore are similar. So we take now the similarity of the side. So let us look at our complete side here. So I've got 5 over 8, all right? Or 8 over 5. So I have got that. So I'm trying to find m, but m is that whole distance there. So first of all, maybe I can say let PQ, this distance from here to here, let it be some y. So if I say let my PQ be some y, you can write PQ, but I will write y, then this is y. And if I put it over that, then it will be y. So PR then, PR will be y plus 2, because it's y plus 2 more. That's the most important thing, plus 2 more. So the whole distance here. So this y, this PR is basically my m that I'm going to calculate. So I'm going to calculate y. Once I find what my y is, then I'll add 2 more in order for me to find the value of m. So here I'll have y plus 2, and because it's an expression, I always advise you to put it in brackets. So you can always cross multiply in order to clear the fractions. I will have my 8y equals to 5, in brackets I have got y plus 2. So that is 8y equals to 5y plus 10. Please be careful when you multiply. 5 times 2 is 10. So get like terms together. 8y minus 5y equals to 10. This is going to give you y equals to, first of all, let me write it like that. So our y is 10 divided by 3, which is basically 3 and 1/3. But that is the value of y, that is that bit there. So if I want to find m, so m therefore will be this answer here, but plus 2 more, plus 2 more. And that is going to be 3 plus 2, 5, 5 and 1/3. This is the answer for m. Z is easy. When you find z, I'm going to do it on the side here. I'm going to use the same ratio. So I have got 5 over 8 equals to, I started with the small one over the big one. So you can also start the other way around, doesn't matter. Then I have 3 over z in order for me to find out z. Again, do your cross multiplication. You'll get your answer. So that is going to be 5z equals to 8 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24. Then in order for you to find z alone, you will say z equals to 24 divided by 5, which is 4 and 8, or 4 and 4 over 5. That is the answer. So that is the answer that I'm going to have there. Now remember, in an examination, you've got all this room to play around with. You can use all that room to answer that. So 2 marks for that particular question. Not poorly answered, but a lot of people did not get M. When you look at question 3, again, similar. You're told that XY is parallel to that. The reason why they give you this information is because they want you to know that this AXY, triangle AXY, is similar. Triangle AXY is similar to triangle ABC. And because that is the case, you have got a 2 from A to X. The whole thing is 3, obviously meaning that this is 1. But we don't have to use that perhaps because we know the whole distance there. It's totally up to you because we are dealing here with area. So the reason why this is important to me is because I want to find the length scale factor. Always write these things down before you do anything. The length scale factor. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch around. I'm going to take 3 divided by 2. That is 3 divided by 2, which is basically 1.5 if someone wants to do that. Then the area scale factor is going to be 1.5 squared, which is the same as 2.25. And because I'm dealing with area, I'm going to use this. If it was volume, I would be taking 1.5 and I cube that. So read your question to see exactly. So I'm dealing with area. So ABC is the bigger triangle. So in order for me to find the volume of the area of ABC, I will have to multiply. So I'll take the 4 centimeters that I have there, and I will multiply it by 2.25. Now, I also like to work with the fraction. Sometimes it's easy. It's 9/4. These two things are equal. So when I work with 9/4, I know that the 4's cancel, and this answer is 9 square centimeter. This question was also well answered. People didn't have a problem with that particular one. This particular question is on page 224, I think, in your textbook exercise 1. I think it's exercise 18, EX 18, for the learners of the old extended book.